Dámy a pánové, sešli jsme se, abychom slavnostně a veřejně ocenili činnost významných osobností. Je mi ctí vám oznámit, že Vědecká rada Západočeské univerzity v Plzni na návrh děkana fakulty elektrotechnické projednala udělení čestného titulu doktor honoris causa profesoru Dušanu Borojeviči za mimořádný přínos ve výzkumu výkonové elektroniky, za významnou spolupráci se Západočeskou univerzitou v Plzni a rozvoj fakulty elektrotechnické Západočeské univerzity v Plzni. Žádám nyní děkana fakulty elektrotechnické profesora Zdeňka Peroutku, aby profesora Dušana Borojeviče představil.
Vaše magnificence, magnificí, spectabiles, honorabiles, sivi akademici, vážení hosté. Profesor Dushan Boroyevich patří k předním světovým odborníkům v oblasti výkonové elektroniky. Zásadním způsobem přispěl k vývoji nových technologií umožňujících významné zvýšení integrace výkonových polovodičových modulů. Ve své odborné činnosti se též intenzivně věnoval vícefázovým systémům pro přeměny energie, technologiím pro distribuci elektrické energie, modelování, řízení a interdisciplinárním optimalizacím výkonových polovodičových systémů. Velmi známé a citované jsou jeho práce například z oblasti polovodičových měničů, pracujících s vysokou spínací frekvencí. Vychoval 50 doktorandů, je autorem 25 patentů a více než 1000 odborných publikací. Profesor Borojevich je IEEE Life Fellow, je držitelem prestižní ceny IEEE William E. Neville Power Electronics Technical Field Award, ocenění IEEE Power Electronics Society Harry A. Owen Distinguished Service Award či Outstanding Achievement Award od European Power Electronics Association. V letech 2011 až 2012 byl prezidentem IEEE Power Electronics Society. Profesor Borojevich působí nejen ve Spojených státech, ale je aktivní i na řadě univerzit, například v Číně či v Tajvanu. Profesor Borojevich byl v roce 2014 zvolen členem US National Academy of Engineering za svůj přínos v oblasti pokročilého řízení, modelování a návrhu výkonových elektronických systémů, zejména v energetice a v dopravě. Fakulta elektrotechnická Západočeské univerzity v Plzni v oboru výkonové elektroniky a elektrických pohonů významně zvýšila svoji aktivitu a začala se úspěšně prosazovat na mezinárodní scéně zhruba od roku 2001. To bylo období, kdy profesor Borojevich s profesorem Lee formovali CPES. CPES byl velmi zajímavý projekt. Byl to projekt financovaný National Science Foundation Engineering, NSFERC, který nesl název Center for Power Electronic Systems. V současnosti je CPES největší výzkumnou skupinou v oblasti výkonové elektroniky, která působí ve Spojených státech amerických. Měli jsme tu čest se v této době potkat právě s profesorem Borojevichem a navázat vzájemnou spolupráci, která trvá téměř 20 let. Profesor Borojevich významně pomohl týmu fakulty začlenit se do světové odborné komunity. Pomáhal nám společně s profesorem Naděm s posílením naší role v IEEE Power Electronics Society, v European Power Electronics Association či v Power Electronics and Motion Control Council. CPES byl pro nás jednou z motivací, respektive inspirací, když jsme vymýšleli, jak by mělo fungovat výzkumné centrum RICE v letech 2006 až 2009. Od roku 2010 působil profesor Borojevich jako externí odborný poradce ředitele RICE a podílel se na propagaci centra RICE a jeho činnosti ve světové odborné komunitě. RICE se postupně v oboru výkonové elektroniky, elektrických strojů a elektrických pohonů vypracovalo do pozice jedné z nejvýznamnějších a největších výzkumných skupin v Evropě. CIPES a RICE v současnosti intenzivně spolupracují, přičemž průnik řešených témat, zejména v oblasti inteligentních výkonových polovodičových modulů s vysokou hustotou integrace a výkonu, nových polovodičových měničů a jejich řízení. Tyto aktivity vyústily v jednání o smlouvě o dlouhodobé strategické spolupráci mezi CIPES a RICE. Tato smlouva by měla být podepsána nejpozději v prvním kvartálu roku 2024. Je významným krokem ve spolupráci nejenom mezi těmito dvěma výzkumnými organizacemi nebo těmito dvěma výzkumnými institucemi, ale mezi celou Virginia Tech a Západočeskou univerzitou v Plzni. Dámy a pánové, děkuji.
Spectabilis, děkuji vám. A nyní žádám jeho magnificenci, profesora Miroslava Lávičku, o vyslovení souhlasu s udělením čestného doktorátu.
Spectabilis. S radostí jsem vyslechl návrh na udělení čestného titulu doktor honoris causa profesoru Dušanu Borojeviči. Vážený pane profesore, je mi ctí, že takto významná osobnost bude naším čestným doktorem. Jako rektor Západočeské univerzity v Plzni dávám proto souhlas k tomu, abyste jím byl jmenován.
Děkuji. A prosím promotora, prorektora pro tvůrčí činnost a doktorské studium, docenta Jiřího Hammerbauera, aby se ujal řízení promočního aktu.
Vážený pane profesore, Vědecká rada Západočeské univerzity v Plzni projednala návrh děkana Fakulty elektrotechnické udělit vám čestný titul doktor honoris causa. Vědecká rada vysoce ocenila váš přínos ve výzkumu výkonové elektroniky, vaši spolupráci se Západočeskou univerzitou v Plzni a také váš přínos k rozvoji Fakulty elektrotechnické Západočeské univerzity v Plzni. A rektor ve smyslu platných předpisů rozhodl udělit vám titul doktor honoris causa. Dovoluji si vás požádat, abyste tuto poctu přijal jako nejvyšší ocenění, které univerzita uděluje a tím oceňuje vaše osobní kvality. Žádám vás, abyste před tímto shromážděním složil slavnostní slib čestného doktora Západočeské univerzity v Plzni. Přítomné prosím, aby povstali. Profesore Borojeviči, předneste prosím slib. Profesor Boroyevich, please take the oath.
As a doctor honoris causa of the University of West Bohemia, I swear this oath upon my honor and conscience to actively support the advancement of scientific knowledge in the service of humankind, to act ethically and to contribute to realizing humanitarian ideals of the democratic society, to always promote the dignity of the University of West Bohemia. I will support, to the best of my ability, its educational, research and development, artistic and other creative activities to preserve in my memory the University of West Bohemia.
Prosím, posaďte se. Složením slibu a přijetím diplomu z rukou jeho magnificence se stáváte také členem akademické obce Západočeské univerzity v Plzni se všemi právy a povinnostmi. Nyní vás žádám, abyste přistoupil k převzetí diplomu. I am now asking you to come forward to receive the diploma. Žádám vás, vážený pane profesore Borojeviči, abyste přednesl svou přednášku. Prosím, máte slovo. I would like to your dear Professor Borojevich to give you speech. Please, the floor is yours.
Spectabilis. Dobry den. I'm extremely humbled and very much honored by receiving the degree of Doctor Honoris Causa from the University of West Bohemia in Plzeň. I received my first and only Doctor of Philosophy degree in area of power electronics 37 years ago from Virginia Polytechnic Institute and State University in the United States. Since then, I have received many honors and awards from many different institutions around the world. But my biggest achievement, of which I'm really proud of, are my 100 children, my 100 graduate students, with whom I generated all the knowledge that they will be carrying on beyond this. So I do really feel being a doctor. In Latin, doctor means teacher. And I'm so pleased that University of West Bohemia has recognized this by giving me this degree of honorable doctoral degree. So I really thank you for that. This university is a young, modern, and dynamic university, as we just heard from the rector. You keep changing and changing. But your roots also come from the long tradition of academic excellence and search for knowledge that started 675 years ago in the Kingdom of Bohemia by founding of Univerzita Karlova and in Prague. And this was the first university in Central Europe. It was among the first universities in Europe at all. And it is also the first university or the oldest university in Slavic lands, which gives me additional pleasure because of my Slavic origins. So I really appreciate that. Thank you again very, very much for this honor, which fills my heart with much joy, but also raises desires to work harder with all of you together, that develop new things for the future of humankind. Děkuji, děkuji, děkuji. 20 years ago, I met a young doctor, Zdeněk Peroutka. You just heard from him, who already had a deep knowledge in how to use power electronics to control electrical motors, control their speed, and we call that motor drives. But that was just a developing discipline at that time, but immediately a young Professor Peroutka started looking deeper. Why are these motors not happy that we can control their speed, but they're actually now dying younger when we start to control them? Looking in the details, what are the issues? What is the interactions? What are the things that are side effects which we neglect, but they die early? That's not good. And because probably of that, I believe that he realized very early that big engineering transformational discoveries happen only in the interdisciplinary environment and also deeply rooted in experiments where you can understand all these deep interactions, and that's how the things work. So I had a similar experience over the 15 years before I met him, and I really then thought, well, this would be a very nice way to collaborate, and let's see if I can help in that in some way. And the thing that we started working together is connecting with the global power electronics community through the professional societies that Professor Peroutka already mentioned in the Institute of Electric and Electronic Engineers, headquartered in the United States, European Power Electronics and Drives Association, headquartered in Brussels, the European Power Electronics and Motion Council, at that time headquartered in Budapest in Hungary, and European Center of Power Electronics, which was just founded at that time in Nuremberg, Germany. So through this collaboration, few years later, about a little bit more than 10 years ago, here in Plzeň, Power Electronics Group, actually founded under the leadership of Professor Peroutka, Research and Innovation Center in Electrical Engineering, to actually make that what he had a vision a long time before that. Interdisciplinary teams working on experimental engineering development, learning all the complexities. And I've seen that yesterday, and that was really, really beautiful and impressive what has been done here. So there is a strong similarity to the Center of Power Electronics System, which I helped to establish 20 years before that, and which I used to direct until recently. And building on this compatibility of academic approach and complementarity in our research expertise and interest, the two centers have agreed to assert our long-term collaboration beyond two of us by signing a research cooperative agreement between the University of West Bohemia and Virginia Tech, which should be finalized and signed and completed in a few months before the end of this year, which will then enable us to collaborate for many years beyond that. So next, I would like to share with you some ideas on how our academic discipline of power electronics could help humanity in this critical time in history. After using early parts of my career in improving electronic energy processing in electrical autonomous power systems, like in laptop, cell phone, electric vehicles, cars, airplanes, ships, 15 years ago, I had a dream that one day every human being will be able to have as much energy as they want and need for enjoyable work and happy life, without harming our planet Earth. 2 years ago, at the United Nations Conference for Climate Change in Glasgow, in the United Kingdom, world leaders promised to achieve carbon neutrality by 2050 in order to prevent annihilation of the human species. So the question is, how power electronics discipline can help with that goal? As power engineers, I believe we must focus on energy. And energy, 3/4 of human caused greenhouse gas emissions are coming from energy production. But only around 20% of that is the consumption in the form of, consumed in the form of electricity. Since power from all sustainable energy sources is always first converted to electricity, we need to build at least 4 additional electrical grids if we want to change to 100% renewables. Furthermore, because road transport also uses only around 20% of the total energy, just converting all the road transport to electrical vehicles will need a doubling of electrical grid transmission and distribution capacity. And if we want to do that in 10 years as we are talking, we better start building that one more grid right now, or otherwise it will be too late. I believe that this dream is possible and can become reality, because Earth receives each day from sun about 10,000 times more energy than the total primary energy consumption of humankind today. Furthermore, we can calculate that 30 years from now, 10 billion humans, using per capita 2 times more energy than an average American today, will still need less than 0.1% of the energy that we continuously receive from sun. So that's what I say, sustainable energy abundance. The existing renewable technologies can be sustainably and economically scaled up to provide all human energy needs. For example, even if we were to use only photovoltaics, and I'm not saying we will use that only, we'll use all the other systems, but even if you calculate just using that, we would need to cover less than 20% of the sunny deserts in Earth in order to have enough energy for everyone everywhere. So this sustainable energy abundance can be achieved by using only renewable electricity generations without any fossil fuel consumption. But we do not live in deserts, and the sun is not shining all the time, and the wind is not blowing all the time. So we must find the ways to transport this electrical energy from where and when it is available to where and when it is needed. We have been transporting energy around the world for over a century. And we have always found ways to balance global energy consumption with energy production, even during the wars. But the time it takes to achieve this balance, with today's way, it takes days or even months. Thus, this is not enough for the fast variations of renewable energy supply. So let us use electrical power system to transport the energy around the globe. But today's electrical power grid, even if we add smartness by adding information processing to it, cannot support instantaneous rebalancing of variable energy sources and uses around the globe. Just as the old telephone networks could not support internet, and just as railways could not reach every house. We need to build new electrical grids that can balance varying generation and variable consumption instantaneously around the globe. Since we must build so much additional infrastructure, it would be wise not to change the existing grid. Keep it the way it is, does what it does very well. But we need to build additional electrical grids, and I propose do that using high voltage direct current technologies that are already being developed and deployed around the world for instantaneous transmission of vast amounts of energy through underground and undersea cables over very long distances. So, I believe it is possible to build an electronic grid where sunny regions will be providing energy to other regions during the nights with 24-hour cycle based on the state-of-the-art HVDC technologies and anticipated needs of 10 billion humans in 2050. It could be estimated that we would need around 70 million kilometers of east-west cables and 30 million kilometers of north-south cables. Among the other possible solutions, and people are exploring many of them, the main advantages of the transcontinental HVDC transmission could be underground cables are more suitable for HVDC than overhead lines, and without significant cost increase, thus improving resilience to weather and other extreme events. Additionally, to build this new infrastructure, we could start with a new application. For example, charging electric cars as they drive along the highways. So it would need new regulations and new codes and new standards. We don't need to use old standards for the new technology. As an example, utilizing highway medians for the cables avoids right-of-way issues. In this scenario, every highway exit could have a new DC substation providing power for electric vehicle charging to the nearby converted gas stations. This application has the additional advantage that it could utilize the EV batteries to balance initial variations in the energy availability. For example, there could be sign, no charging between 11 in the evening and 4 in the morning. Do that at home. So that could be done with the balancing. This could be the best investment opportunity for the windfall profits of the oil companies, who are anyway facing the death penalty already. In summary, the unprecedented progress of power electronics discipline has been a major enabler for massive deployment of renewable energy sources in the electrical power grid over the past several decades. And it may not be long before all human energy needs could be dominantly provided by electricity, delivered through a hierarchical network of dynamically decoupled, electronically interconnected subnetworks, which I call the Intergrid. The total cost of the global Intergrid could be estimated at around $160 trillion. which is compared to $100 trillion of annual global domestic product. That means everything that humanity does in 1 year is 100 trillion. And we need 160 to achieve sustainable energy abundance. Hence, humankind would need to spend around 6% of global GDP over the next 30 years to build the global Intergrid that will produce all the energy it may need without any CO2 emissions and keep the global warming below 1.5 degrees centigrade. I believe this is possible. This is my dream, and I hope some of that will become a reality. Thank you again very, very much. Děkuji.